Alright, so today for Foundation Friday, we are switching it up a little bit, not doing a usual first impression review on a product like I normally do for Foundation Fridays, but I'm showing you guys my powder foundation routine for dry skin that gives you this full coverage, dewy, really lightweight kind of look. I have put this routine to the test. So if you have dry skin, you know it is friggin' hard to find not only powder foundations, but just powders that don't look like shitsies on your skin. Find a whole routine where I can actually wear a powder foundation. I'm not wearing any liquid foundation right now, and get this kind of look is pretty shocking. So I've tried a bunch of different combinations, and these products together are the ones that I find just work incredible on my skin, so I hope it works out for you guys as well. Only downside to this routine is that because of the powder foundation I'm using, I can only wear this when I have self-tanner on. The powder foundation doesn't come in a shade light enough. This routine actually looks better on my skin throughout the day. It doesn't dry me out. It doesn't emphasize my dryness, doesn't emphasize my texture. I have dry skin since coming off of Accutane. I also have a lot of texture on my skin. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and my foundation first impressions will be coming again next week for Foundation Friday. I have so many new launches that are either like I've ordered and the shades were just totally off, so I had to order again, or I was waiting on PR that didn't come. I've had a lot of like packages getting lost or stolen issues since I moved, so I'm just kind of like, you know, waiting for things to get to my house, and I placed a bunch of orders, so product review Foundation Fridays will be coming again next week. But if you guys are excited for this video, you can give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It helps me out. And if you're new here, you can join the Bayrito family and subscribe. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. As I said in the intro, I can only wear this with self-tanner on, so right now I'm just wearing the Loving Tan Bronze Shimmer Luminous Cream in the shade Medium. And this is just like a wash off body makeup kind of thing. The only reason why I'm wearing this right now is for the sake of the video. I have to film a Foundation Friday tomorrow, so I don't want actual self-tanner on. The way I have been wearing it is with a self-tanner that will be coming in August Raised and Rejects that you guys will see. So first what I do is start off with my SPF. This is good, obviously, just to add, you know, a face sunscreen, but also this gives you a glow. This is the La Roche-Posay Cooling Water Lotion Sunscreen. I've talked about this a lot. This is my favorite SPF. It makes my skin super glowy. Doesn't feel like a greasy sunscreen. It just kind of like sinks into your skin really nice, but still gives you the glow. What I do with powders, if I'm going to be wearing it, especially all over and like on my forehead, is just make sure that everything else I'm putting on my skin basically is super moisturizing, glowy, is adding that like skin-like look back into the powder. Because if not, powder can look like a crepey hot mess on dry skin. Like, awful. This step is totally optional, but I do feel like it just overall makes my face look better. So I'm gonna go with a tiny bit of the Tatcha Silk Canvas. It does mattify a tiny bit, which is why I'm gonna be adding even more glowy products into my skin, but it's just a really nice base. And especially if you're using any kind of powder foundation, you want to make sure it has something to stick to. So my skin feels super nice and moisturized right now. It feels like it's ready, but if you have extra dry skin, I would definitely go in with this guy right now just as an extra step. So this is the Catrice Illuminating Dewy Glow Setting Spray. I'm going to talk more about this at the end because this is like key to this whole process, but going with this now, just spritz your face real quick if you have extra dry skin. If not, and you feel like you have enough moisture going on like I do right now, then you can skip that for now. So like with any powder foundation, you want to be putting all of your cream and liquid products on first. So if you go in with a powder foundation and then try and do your cream concealer on top, at least on my skin, it turns into just a total shit show. So I'm going to go in with my concealer first. You can also use this to spot conceal right now if you have anywhere that needs extra coverage. I have some like redness coming through right there that I might use it on. This is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. Normally on my skin tone, I have to lighten this with another concealer. When I have tanner on, like right now, this shade is fine. As you can see, it's like light enough, so it does give me the kind of brightened under eyes. So I'm just gonna, I don't know what is getting loose in this brush. I'm just blending this out with my Morphe G38, and I'm just gonna pull this down a little bit too over some of that redness on my cheeks. If you have any acne or scarring that you want to cover up, now is a good time. My nose is pretty red right now, but the powder will cover that up fine. So once you have all of your liquids and creams on, now I'm going to first set my under eyes. You could wait to do this after the powder, but I've done it both ways, and I feel like I like setting my under eyes first a little bit better. I just feel like it kind of blends everything together easier. So I'm going to go in with my Made Sheer Pressed powder mixed with my NYX Hydra Touch powder. It's in the shade Porcelain. I've been liking mixing these two. Actually, now that my skin isn't isn't as light. I don't think I'll need to mix in the Mage here, so I think I'm just going to use this NYX powder to set my under eyes since I don't need it super bright. All right, so now we are going in with the star of the show. So this is the Jcat Aquasurance Compact Foundation Powder. This is new from them. Hands down, best powder foundation I've tried so far. I'll get more into the formula and stuff as we're putting it on. But I can think of two downsides, just the first being the shade range and the second being that it darkens about 3 shades. So even though this looks pretty light, like you can see compared to my body right now, it looks pretty light in the pan. And I thought this was gonna work for my skin tone. When you put it on your face, it really does darken a few shades. So you guys can look at it now, and then once it's on, it will hopefully match my neck color. This is super affordable too. I think right now you can only get it on Jcat's website. I'm assuming they'll put it on Ulta because Jcat is carried on Ulta. I'm not totally sure though, but this comes with a little compact thing. And this is one of those powders that the way you apply it really determines what kind of coverage you're gonna get. So play around with different brushes, sponges, and try and find a way that you like it best. I've nailed down a combo. I do 2 things that gives me the best coverage and that looks the most flawless. And that is actually using the thing that it comes with just to get it on my face, but then blending in and adding a little bit more with this brush. So this is the It Cosmetics Radiant Foundation Brush. I want to say this was limited edition, like the glitter thing, but I'm pretty sure the actual brush is, they have one in their permanent line. They have some of the softest friggin' brushes and it just has like the right amount of density. This is a very unique powder where when I first put this on, I went on Snapchat immediately and did like a mini thought/review on this and showed you guys, like zoomed into my skin. You could not see this powder on my skin. It does not look like powder. It looks like you're wearing just like a beautiful, almost airbrushed liquid foundation or something. I've gotten compliments on my skin when I wear this in real life. When you use it in combination with the setting spray, it just completely transforms the powder and it looks unreal. So if you want lighter coverage, you could just straight away go in with a brush, but you're gonna get much lighter coverage than if you first apply it with some kind of sponge product. So you guys will see. So that's the initial color and it will darken. But off the bat, when you apply it with this, it works. I just feel like I get even more of a flawless look when I blend it out with the sponge after. Something I've noticed is that it can actually crease a little bit on the upper lip. So I just like to do like one swipe around the area where I normally crease and just kind of, if you can pat in certain areas. But I mean, the coverage is pretty friggin' insane for a powder foundation. That looks totally fine like that. I just prefer to go in with a brush and I'll just dip my brush in the powder one time and just kind of like blend everything together. And normally I never use circular motions with powder because when you do that on top of a liquid foundation, you can see that just took away the red immediately. When you do that on top of a liquid foundation, it can just kind of like swipe away the product underneath. Since I don't have any liquid foundation on underneath this powder, you can full on blend and really like work this into your skin, and that's gonna give the most flawless look. So here's the coverage right there with just a friggin' powder, and I didn't even put any concealer or anything on. You can build this up, you just have to be careful because it can start to look a little bit not powdery, just a little bit heavy. If you like a more matte finish, you could stop here with just the powder, but wait till you guys see it with the setting spray. It's literally like takes it up 25,000 notches. Powder does tend to get a little bit dewier throughout the day, which is awesome for dry skin because usually it's the reverse with powders. This one, it seems to look better throughout the day and just look more like skin as you wear it, which is amazing. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side and you guys will see how this covers around us and stuff right there. All right, so now I'm going to go back in with the brush. Using a brush around kind of problem areas like my pores and upper lip is definitely the way to go. So with my forehead, I do the same thing. I still go in with this sponge, but I stay away from the center of my forehead with the sponge for the most part because that is one of my problem areas. I can get really textured right there. So for me, the setting spray really makes a huge difference on my forehead since that is just an area that I have a lot of trouble with powders. But what I do is just put this on and then center of the forehead, I just hit it with this brush. Blend everything together. Okay, so by using the sponge and the brush, I would say I get full coverage. It looks like low full coverage. It's not like the absolute most opaque coverage ever, but it definitely looks like I have a full coverage foundation on. And I just friggin' love it because it feels so lightweight. I don't feel like I have an intense foundation on at all. When I touch my face, it just feels like my face. So right now without the setting spray, you get about a satin matte finish, but it does get dewier throughout the day. This product, if you're gonna buy this powder and you have dry skin, you gotta get it with the setting spray. I've raved about this so many times and I love hearing you guys tell me how much you love it on Twitter and Snapchat and stuff. This is honestly a game changer if you have dry skin or if you just like dewy glass-like skin. Best dewy setting spray I have found. It's super affordable. You can get it online, Ulta. It's not shimmery. It's not gonna make your face glittery or anything. Every single foundation I've tried this on top of, whether it's this powder foundation or liquid, it just completely transforms. This is really one of those setting sprays that is like a true game changer. It just totally changes the look of your foundation. So highly recommend this. And if you've tried this and you weren't a fan of it, try it with this setting spray. These two are like, they go hand in hand. So before we actually go into the setting spray, that's when I like to do the rest of my powder products. So bronzer, blush, and highlight. The other good thing about wearing a powder foundation is that everything blends so seamlessly on top because you're just blending powders on top of powders. I'm going to quickly do that with you guys. I'm going in with this bronzer. This is the Bronze and Glow by Makeup Revolution. And the other good reason to definitely apply a setting spray, some setting spray after powder foundation, is that it's just going to lock in all of your powder products and just really like adhere them to your skin. So I am going to bronze my temples up a little bit today. Just kind of feeling the bronze. Crossing my fingers that Jcat comes out with more shades of this powder because I would freaking love to wear this powder on a daily basis, honestly. Blush, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Pop It Don't Peach blush, which is like a really glowy kind of peachy blush. I'm just going to go back in with my powder brush and just kind of like blend all of that together. Just blends so effortlessly when you have only powders on your face. And then for my highlight, I'm going to go in with Ofra Blissful. I'm giving this a second chance after the products I never reach for video because I really liked it in that video. Oh, look at that. Highlight my Cupid's bow and down my nose a little bit. All right, now we are ready for my favorite part. The only downside with this setting spray is that it does burn my eyes. So sometimes I'll try and like cover them and spray around it, or I'll just let it totally dry down before I open my eyes. And that's what I'm gonna do today. All right, so here's my skin before. And as you can see, I feel like the powder is actually already starting to get a little bit dewier on its own as it's like warming up to my skin, but this is just gonna take it to the next level. I'm so excited for you guys to see this. Okay. You don't need to use that much, but I just have bad aim, so I try and get like every centimeter of my skin. I need to get a fan or something up in here. All right, so it is almost dried down, but you can just see how much that friggin' transforms the skin. Not only does it give you that like glassy skin look, but I just feel like it melts everything together so beautifully. It doesn't look like there is makeup sitting on top of my skin now. It just like fuses everything together. So I'm going to do the rest of my makeup. I'm probably just going to do something kind of quick and natural, but I'm just going to pop on some brows, do a little shadow, and I'll be right back. All right, so this is what the final finished face looks like. This is how I get glowy skin using powder foundation. If you guys try it out, I hope it works out for you too. Let me know if it does in the comments or on Twitter, on social media. But I'm going to have everything I used linked down below for the rest of my face. I just used that same bronzer kind of thing for my eyeshadow. I went in with this shade in my crease, and this is what's all over my lid and on my inner corner. My normal mascaras, which will be linked down below, and then for lips, I just went in with CYO lip gloss in Crowd Pleaser, and this one's just like a really pretty peachy, it has a hint of peach in it. It's just kind of like sheer, shiny lip gloss, and it smells like cake. So I hope you guys enjoyed this routine and found it helpful. If you did, you can give this a thumbs up. Foundation first impressions will be back next week. The Too Faced one should be the next one coming up. So if you want to stick around for that, you can subscribe and join the Bayrito family. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and Foundation Fridays are every Friday. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.